All right, Steph getting it done as the playoff finals MVP. Our Tim Doyle is here to get it done. Tim, you look like you're going on vacation with Amanda sitting back there now that the season's over, just kind of taking it easy over there.
Season's over. What do you got for me, Jeremy? You want me to tell you who's going to win next year? I can do it.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing. We're going to turn the page and look into the future. Last night, after that game ended, there were a lot of Golden State players that were talking to, consoling Celtics players, saying, hey, you know what? Hey, you're going to be back. You got a good team. You're going to be back next year. Do you agree with that sentiment surrounding the Celtics? And when you look at those title odds, which are already out for next year, do you think they're a good reflection of where the teams are at right now?
I mean, there's some huge wild cards when you look at the odds to win the championship. Obviously, the biggest one being the Nets, right? I mean, last year, they had more storylines than Susan Lucci and All My Children. I mean, that was just, yes, I watched that show. I admit it. It was college. There was nothing to do during lunch. But the storylines are abundant, not only in Brooklyn, but also with the Clippers, right? They still have Kawhi Leonard, still have the old Paul George there. You got a pretty talented squad. The Harden and Embiid team, they're not going anywhere. They're still in Philadelphia. I think there is a lot of intrigue across the NBA landscape. But the thing that impressed me most with the Golden State Warriors is how well they played together. That basketball IQ. And you bring in guys whose dads played in the NBA. You know, Del Curry and Michael Thompson, Steph and Clay's father, set a foundation for both these guys that they have such a tremendous basketball IQ. And say what you want about Andrew Wiggins. He hasn't lived up to expectations. Go look at his career, okay? He was the #1 high school player in the country. He was the first pick in the NBA draft. He was the rookie of the year. And then this year, he was an all-star. But Bob Myers, the general manager of this squad, and I don't know, Jeremy, if he gets enough credit because they brought in, the Warriors did, D'Angelo Russell, who was an all-star in Brooklyn. And after 33 games with Golden State, they're like, we got to get rid of this guy. And they shipped him off. They brought in Wiggins, who's proved to be one of the best two-way players in the NBA. Now they got the old decision to make. Because whenever you win a championship, and I was in Chicago when the Blackhawks won 3 cups, all of a sudden all the other guys start getting picked off by other teams because their value becomes immense. And the 2 guys that stand out are Jordan Poole, who's going to get the bag. I'm going to get the bag. Yeah, you are. And Andrew Wiggins. So, but people forget who's laying in the wings for the Golden State Warriors. James Wiseman. He was the first pick in the draft, and he didn't play at all this year. So, you know, kind of a different squad, but you still got Clay, you still got Steph, you still got Draymond, you still got a really good core. If you want to bet the Warriors now, I get it.
They're at 5-1 to win the 2023 NBA title. Over in the East, let's talk about that. Nets and Celtics plus 300 to win the conference. Then Milwaukee at plus 340. Give us a pick to win the East, Tim.
Yeah, the East is going to be the Nets. I think that they're going to put it all together. This window is like closing. Have you seen Kyrie's hair? Couple more grays popping up. He's going with the old Jeremy St. Louis hair dye. Dye it. You put a little coloring in it. There's like a shampoo, Jeremy. It's like a rinse. It won't completely make it jet black like mine, like shoe polish, but I think Kyrie's going to start dyeing the fro a little bit. And I think that's going to help him on the court. I think that him and Kevin Durant realized that, all right, let's put aside the old whatever happened last year and all the storylines. This was a squad that, you know, just you knew it was going to be a disaster zone. And I thought it was going to be a disaster zone from the jump. But now it's like, it's now or never for them. And, you know, last year, if Durant doesn't have a size, whatever, 15 foot, who knows? They might have won the championship last year. So I think they have value right now. Bet them now. You know they're going to come into the season motivated.
Okay, so let's talk about the West then. Warriors favorites to win, plus 240. Phoenix and the Clippers are next. The same odds of plus 400. I mean, what do you think about the West?
Here's what I think about the West, okay? I have 3 children. And if I could adopt a team and love them and hug them and bring them on vacation with me in my Hawaii shirt, it would be the Memphis Grizzlies. The Memphis Grizzlies are going to win an NBA championship in the next 4 years. The Grizzlies won a championship before, let's just say, Brandon Baylor gets married, okay? So let's just throw that out there, that they will win a title before Brandon gets married. You believe in that?
You're just lobbing grenades out there today, Tim. Okay, I mean...
My last show.
Baylor's not even here. The poor guy's on vacation, and you're lobbing grenades
Everybody's getting thrown under the bus. I got the Hawaii shirt on. I'm going to tell everybody how I feel there. It's over. I get fired after this little hit here. But the Grizzlies were so close against the Warriors. You know, if John Morant makes lefty layup in game number 1, they won game number 2, they would have been up 2-0 in that series. And I thought Memphis gave Golden State the toughest test of any team in the playoffs. And this guy didn't even play in the series. So I know there's some beef right now between Jaren Jackson Jr. and Klay Thompson. Obviously, Klay had the last laugh winning the NBA title. But I got to see Memphis live. I called 6 of their games this year. They are the real deal. And when you look at the youth on this squad, they're only trending in one direction. So that was a great series. They played with Golden State. Obviously, they're going to have to get through them to win an NBA championship. But at 8.5 to 1, I'll take those odds.
Festivus isn't until the 23rd of December, but you're airing grievances already here in the middle of June. So it makes me wonder what's coming later in the year. Okay, so, I mean, you talk about Memphis going to win a title at some point. But, I mean, Tim, let's be honest. They're your pick to win next year.
They are. And, I believe in this squad. I believed in them this year. And I really, it came down to a few plays in that Warriors series. And, that's what it takes, right? Championship pedigree to learn. And I think what we saw from the Celtics was a big learning experience. But this guy's a superstar. And the biggest thing about him is he's unselfish. He's got guys that are getting better every single year. I think Jaren Jackson Jr., seeing him right here, I think he learned a lot when Ja got hurt in the playoffs. And he had his struggles because all of a sudden he went from being kind of the second or third guy to the guy. And Desmond Bane, and I love their bench, whether it's Anthony or Williams. They just have guys that keep getting better every single year. So I'm going to bet them. I'm going to bomb bet them, just like one of our producers, not going to name his name, bomb calls me. It's Brian Tully. Calls and calls. Like, it's almost like grandfather-ish how he just keeps on calling. I can't answer it because I don't know how long I'm going to be on the phone. My time is valuable, Tully. Stop bomb calling me.
Tim says, I'm not going to say who it is, and then instantly says who it is. Do you want producer Jack to start calling you too?
I'm just...
All right, Tim, the NBA draft is in a week's time. But let's shift the focus there for a minute and get some props from you here. Jabari Smith, Chet Holmgren, Paolo Banchero are the favorites to go first overall. So who do you like amongst that group or others to be the number 1 overall pick?
It's interesting. Jalen Suggs was the Magic pick last year, and he went to the same high school and the same college as Chet Holmgren. So you got to think that he is lobbying inside that organization that we have to take Chet. When I came out of college in 2007, there was a debate who should be the number 1 pick, Greg Oden or Kevin Durant. And I told everybody, and I mean everybody, you have to take Greg Oden. What an idiot. What an idiot I am, okay? Obviously, you should have taken Kevin Durant. We could be having a similar conversation here between Chet Holmgren and Jabari Smith. These odds were wild. Earlier in the week, Jabari Smith was minus 400, and now it's almost down to an essential pick'em. The biggest thing Holmgren is going to have to do, obviously, is see his arms. He's built like a Chris Hassel. He's skinny. There's no muscles there. Like, he's going to have to change his body just like Kristaps Porzingis changed his. Because when Porzingis got drafted, everyone in New York went, whoa, this guy's skinny. He's going to get pushed around. Dolph Lundgren 2.0, like little Ivan Drago, like the guy's jacked right now. So he obviously ate really well. He lifted. And I think Chet Holmgren, if he's dedicated, huge if. These guys they're drafting can't drink Miller Lights. They're not 21 years old. So we don't know what type of work they're going to be putting in. But if Chet puts in the work, because he shoots 40% from 3, because he can block nearly 4 shots a game, and the fact that he was Suggs' teammate in high school and then went to the same college, I'm confident he's going to go number 1.
Tim, there's nothing wrong with drinking a little water, okay? Let's get into the pick that could have some great value if you pick it right. What about a pick to go 5th overall?
Yeah, I like Ben Mathurin there. And at the 5 spot, I think that he could be an explosive scorer. He has a lot of Bradley Beal in his game. You see right now each pick, with Jabari being the favorite. Jaden Ivey, I think that he could end up being maybe the superstar of this draft class. So we're all going to wonder how he maybe wasn't the top pick. Size still matters in that spot, but look at Ben Mathurin at 10 to 1. I know Keegan Murray is 6'8", and he's taller and plays more of a traditional wing. But what Ben Mathurin showed me at Arizona, where he averaged nearly 20 points a game, more importantly, he grabbed almost 6 rebounds a game. This guy's body is NBA ready. I think he's an explosive athlete. He can create his own shot. Like, you see how easy he does that? Like, that's next level athleticism. And I think that the Pistons are going in the right direction. So if he ends up there, they are not far away from being a playoff caliber team. So I think this would be a sensational draft pick. He's one of those guys that I've identified as maybe under the radar right now, may end up being a much better pro than he was a college player.
Okay, Tim, about 30 seconds. What's your best draft position prop?
Jaden Ivey, I'm telling you, it'd be hard not to take him one. I think he's the most talented with the biggest upside of any player who's not. But this is where size, right? You see 6'11", you're still like Reggie Jackson and Naked Gun. Like, I must kill the queen. I must draft a 7-footer. Like, he reminds me of Ja Morant, not just because of the hair, because of the game. He's explosive. He's got a high basketball IQ. Didn't shoot it great from three, but he did have a game against Butler, Jeremy, where he shot 6 threes and he made 6 threes. So Jaden Ivey, he's going to get paid on draft night. And me, my friend, the swan song. So thank you for a beautiful year. I'm excited to come back next season. For all the bookers out there, Jake, Randy, lose my number. Just don't text me. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna start drinking Bloody Marys right now. Do not text me for the next 48 hours. I will not be working. Thank you.
CBS Sports wagering expert Tim Doyle, who will be here in Florida next week. That's why he's got the shades and the flowered shirt on. He's coming down for a little visit. Here's Tim's picks. He likes the Nets to win the East, Grizzlies to win the West, and he likes them as the champions as well. Chet Holmgren as your #1 overall pick.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.